So, today we're going to have a look at a type of lashing called the God's Eye lashing, and this is it. It's a really useful lashing when you have got two sticks crossing each other like that. God's Eye lashing is a really pretty one for that instance. So we're going to have a look at putting those into a basket later, but it's really good to just practice the technique a few times in the flat first, just on two sticks, and then once you've got the technique, try it in a basket. So we're starting with our two sticks, which need to be a lot thicker than the weavers. The weavers I'm going to use today are 4 foot fresh Flanders red. Because it's seasonal, we're in February and the willows are all being cut at the moment, but just use whatever most slender rods you can find. You can make a good God's Eye in thicker willow if that's all you've got. Try it. So we want to start with our two sticks parallel, and then we're going to take the tip. Oh, hang on, I best do this first. So here is our rod, and you can see that there is a thin end and there is a thicker end where it's growing from the tree. So this end is called the butt and this end is called the tip. So we're going to take the tip and always work your weaver with your lead hand. So if you're right-handed, work your weaver with your right hand. If you're left-handed, the opposite way round. So I'm just going to clamp the tip with my thumb there and wrap it round twice. And then I'm just going to open those two sticks up, because I've wrapped twice this way and now I want to wrap twice that way. So now I'm going to wrap once and twice. So I've just secured those two sticks together. So now we're going to do the stroke. It's the same stroke that goes all the way round the lashing, and the stroke is across 2 and then all the way round the back. So let me show you. Bring your weaver to the front to start with. So now I want to go across 1, because that's the first one the weaver's going to cross. We're going to go around clockwise for the first part of the stroke. We want to go across 2, across 1, 2, and then we want to turn all the way around the back of the second one. So that's the stroke. Across 2, all the way around the back. So you're going clockwise for the first part of the stroke, across 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to go take that weaver around the back of the second one. So like so. It's a bit of a pickle to start with, but once you get into the rhythm and the pattern starts to emerge, it's really pleasing. I don't know if you noticed, I turned my work anti-clockwise as I was going along. So now we're going to go across 2 again, across 1, 2, and all the way round the back of the second one, and now I'm going to turn the work clockwise. So I'm trying to keep it really nice and tight as I go along with my clampy thumb there. I'm holding it in place so it can't wriggle out while I'm working the weaver with my right hand. So across 1, 2, and all the way round the back. Turn the work, clamp it, clampy thumb. Across 1, 2, all the way around the back. Turn the work slightly. Across 1, 2, all the way around the back. So now you can see you've got a bit of a diamond shape starting to emerge. So now, as well as doing the stroke, just try and keep an eye on the fact that you've got one weaver laying next door to the other one, really nice and tight, snuggled up together. Across 2, all the way around the back. Turn the work. Across 2, round the back, turn the work. Across 2, round the back, turn the work. Just keep that as a little mantra in your head as you're going along. Cross 2, behind, turn. So I'm just going to keep going there until I have run out of weaver. So there we are. I've left a little bit spare, and I'm just going to show that weaver where it's going. I've bent it round there a tiny bit. So when you're making joins, no sniggering, butt to butt, tip to tip. So I finished on the butt there, so I'm going to start on the butt of my next weaver. I'm going to cross that over. This is the tricky bit. This is the hardest bit really of a lashing, but you just get through it. Butt to butt, I've just crossed them over, and now I'm going to clamp it with my thumb there. I've got my right lead hand working the weaver. So now I'm going to carry on with the pattern, but I've just got to really try and hang on to that join there until I go back. So I wanted to, I'm going to push it down so it's sitting alongside rather than on top of the one before. Okay, so I'm going to finish on this tip here because we've made quite a nice lashing. If you are using this in a basket, at this point you would want to tie the tip of your weaver off with a little bit of string onto here. We're not, this is just a lashing on its own, so I'm going to circle round 3 times, slacken off, loosen that off a little bit, and then I want to push the tip through at least 2 turns there. Don't know if you can see. Just one isn't enough, so we want to push it through 2 turns. It's a bit fiddly. That's 1. That's 2. Oh, hang on. That's it. And now I can just tighten that up, give it a good tug. There we go. And that will hold the lashing together. So now all we need to do is trim it up. So nice sharp pair of secateurs. As I said, if this is going to be in a berry basket, leave that one, but I'm just going to trim that off. It's easier kind of to get at the trimming from the other side of this rib here, so I'm just going to do that. Be a little bit careful you don't snip into your work. Just pull it forward. There you go, one finished lashing.